Dear students, good morning to all of you. Let's begin. Start our today's history class. On the last class, we have discussed about the comparison between the nation state as well as a modern state. Now we are going to discuss about the topic 1. You can see that in your screen, the French Revolution and the idea of nation. The French Revolution and the idea of nation. In this topic, we are going to discuss about the influence of the French revolutions, French revolutionaries, and Napoleon Bonaparte. The role of Napoleon Bonaparte to the spread of nationalism and modern administrative methods in France. And these methods and the nationalism have spread out throughout the European continent. You know, the first clear expression of the nationalism came with the French Revolution of the 1789. Already we have studied in our last year class the word French Revolution of the 1789. This French Revolution was actually spread out or provide a clear expression of the nationalism into the world, especially to the European continent. You know, after the revolution, the French revolutionaries, they were drafted a new constitution. Through that constitution, the French society or the political system of the France was transferred or changed from a monarchy rule to a sovereign body of the French citizens, so-called National Assembly. Then you know, these National Assembly members of the France, they were decided to the destiny or the wake of the future France. And also, along with this French Revolution, the French revolutionaries brought or introduced various measures and practices to create a collective identity among the French people, to bring a collective identity or the commonness of the oneness among the French people. They were introduced many practices. The first was they were emphasized the idea of la patrie, which means the fatherland, and les citoyens, which means the citizens. These two concepts they were emphasized, and that means the fatherland. For la patrie, this France is the fatherland. It was given by our ancestors, so it is our duty to keep or to protect this nation or this region. And then also they were emphasized the concept of the les citoyens, the citizens. The French people are the citizens, not the subjects of monarch. Then secondly, they were drafted a new constitution. That constitution stipulated the equal rights for every sections of the society. They were provide equal rights for every sections of the society by this constitution. And third one, they were introduced a new flag with the tricolor of the blue, white and red color, and they were replaced the former royal flag of the Louis or the old regimes. And the fourth one is they were renamed the name of State General as National Assembly, and the National Assembly was elected by from an active citizens, those who are paying highest amount of the taxes. And the fifth one is they were composed new hymns. They were take the oath or pledge. The martyrs were commemorated in the name of the nation for the spread of the nationhood or the national spirit or the patriotic feeling. They were composed new hymns. They took the oath for the nation pledge for the nation, and they were commemorated the martyrs of the French Revolution. All these four took in the name of the nation. And sixth one is they were introduced or set up a well centralized administrative system. Through this system, they were introduced uniform laws for all citizens. Under the territory of the French centralized administration, they were brought uniform laws for all citizens. And the seventh, or the next one is, they were abolished the internal custom duties, as well as they were brought uniform weights and measures. Internal custom duties means there are different taxes, and weights and measures are in the different regions of the France. Instead of the different taxes and different currencies, as well as the weights and measures, they were introduced a uniform form of weights and measures and avoided different checkposts or internal custom duties. They were reduced the tariff barriers, and also they were encouraged the French language which was spoken in the city of the Paris, and they were discouraged the all other dialects of the French language. Even though they were all French people, they are talking the French language, but it have some regional variation, regional dialectical variations are there. So the French revolutionaries discouraged the regional dialects, and they were supported, or they were encouraged the language which was spoken and written in city of the Paris. So such different practices and messages were brought by the French revolutionaries to create a collective nationalism among the French people. And also, as a result of these reforms and practices, they will find out this is the mission and destiny of the French nation to liberate the entire Europe from the despotism. Not only the France, but also the entire European continent is want to liberate or to emancipate from the monarchy rule or the rule of the despotism. For this, it is our duty to spread or to carry the ideas of the nationalism and national stage in the different parts of the Europe. And this news of the events of the France was reached in the different cities of the France, in different cities of the Europe, which are the news, the French Revolution, a new constitution, as well as the different practices and messages of the French revolutionaries. Yes, it touched with the new democratic element, transforming to the democratic system was spread out into the different cities of the Europe. So the educated people, students, and educated middle classes of these cities, they were formed the Jacobin club, just like the France. The Jacobin clubs of the France are very familiar and highly active in the time of the French Revolution. So, based on these models of the Jacobin club of the France, the different European countries, they also formed their own Jacobin clubs in their countries, and they were prepared for a chance to the French armies to come to their country. They were happily welcomed the French armies to their own countries such as Holland, Belgium, Switzerland, and Italy. They were happily welcomed the French armies to their countries. For what purpose? And to spread to carry the idea of the nationalism and to emancipate their country from the despotic rule. So the French armies began to spread the idea of nationalism in abroad, also in outside of the France also. Okay, that is all about our today's class. Further of this topic we will discuss on the next class. Now we can stop this one. Thank you for good morning.